Have you ever had a boss who set these incredibly high standards and you just found yourself fired up, ready to meet the challenge? And then have you had another boss with the exact same high standards, but working for them felt like an absolute soul-crushing grind? You know, the difference isn't the expectation, it's how they lead. And it all boils down to this really critical distinction we're gonna break down today: the huge gap between being authoritative and being authoritarian. All right, let's get into it. So, it all starts with a feeling I'm pretty sure we've all had at some point. You've got a leader, they have the title, the power, all the authority, but it's delivered cold. You know, there's just no connection, no sense that you're in it together. And when that authority isn't balanced out with some genuine warmth, maybe a little humility, well, it doesn't build respect, it just builds resentment. And yeah, there's a name for this: authoritarianism. At its heart, it's basically the leadership version of "because I said so." The demand itself is the reason. There's no big vision they're selling you on, no explanation of the why behind the work. Performance is just an order to be followed, plain and simple. Okay, so if that whole top-down command and control style just kills motivation, then how does a leader keep standards high in a way that actually works? You know, how do you push a team to be great without completely pushing them away? What does the other side of that coin even look like? And that brings us right to the heart of it. We're gonna put these two words, authoritative and authoritarian, right under the microscope. Because look, they might sound super similar, but believe me, they represent two completely different worlds when it comes to leadership, how people are motivated, and the results you get. What's so great about this is how it lays out the cause and effect of each style. The authoritarian leader demands performance. And what does that lead to? Motivation that's based on the fear of what happens if you fail. But the authoritative leader, they inspire you to contribute. And that builds a real desire to be part of something successful. See the difference? One is a push, the other is a pull. All right, let's get a little more specific. Let's really break down what the authoritarian playbook looks like day to day. How does this leading by demand idea actually play out, and what's the real impact on a team? So the main tool here is just pulling rank. The reason you're supposed to do great work has nothing to do with a cool vision or a goal that the team actually believes in. Nope, the work gets done because the boss said so. End of story. This approach just completely skips over the most important part of getting people engaged, creating that feeling of a shared purpose. And this right here just nails the result. I mean, if the only reason to do the work is because someone told you to, then the only reason to do it well is to avoid getting in trouble. The whole culture becomes about what you have to avoid, not what you could possibly achieve. It's all about survival, not success. So now, let's flip over to the alternative and see how you build an environment where people can actually do their best work. The authoritative approach, it isn't just a small change, it's a complete shift in strategy. It's all about leading with a real sense of purpose. This right here is the master key. An authoritative leader just gets that people aren't robots. We do our best work when we're actually invested. So they don't just hand out tasks, they tell a story. They connect the day-to-day work to that exciting project, or the company's bigger mission, or making a customer's day. And you can just feel the energy shift here, can't you? The motivation isn't some external threat you're trying to dodge. It's an internal drive. It's that genuine desire to add value, to see something you actually care about succeed. And that is what unlocks creativity, extra effort, and real commitment. So here's the bottom line. These two styles run on a completely different emotional fuels. When you strip away all the jargon, you see that one operates on a very basic negative feeling, and the other on a very basic positive one. It all just comes down to fear versus desire. Seriously, think about it. When the vision is blurry, when nobody's really bought in, when the only reason for doing anything is because I said so, what's the one tool an authoritarian leader has left in their toolbox to make sure people comply? Yup. Fear. Fear of being called out, fear of a bad review, fear of getting left off the cool projects. Now, fear can definitely get results in the short term, but it is a toxic fuel that just burns people out, crushes new ideas, and guarantees you will never get anything more than the bare minimum people have to do to stay safe. And then, in total contrast, the authoritative leader relies on a tool that's the complete opposite. It's not something they force on their team, it's something they actually grow and nurture within the team. Desire. You know, the desire to win together, the desire to build something amazing, the desire to see your own work make a real difference. Now that is a powerful, renewable source of energy. It's what gets people to not only meet expectations, but to actually want to blow past them. So as we wrap this up, the question really isn't just theoretical, it's personal. Think about those times in your own career when you felt the most engaged, the most alive, the proudest of what you were doing. Were you running away from fear, or were you running toward a desire? The answer to that tells you everything you need to know about the kind of leaders who don't just succeed, but who actually deserve to lead.